Greetings. Let me go over the chapter 1. Chapter 1, the move. So, after a very intense and oftentimes heated family meeting, the Sasaki family decided to send part of the family temporarily back to Japan. Kaoru, the younger sibling, was struggling with the educational system in the United States. However, moreover, her maternal grandfather passed away the year before. As a result, Kaoru, the younger sibling, will continue their education in Japan, while their mom will help her sisters take care of the grandmother. And then now, since the father won't be able to pay for a single family home, Mr. Alloway, Peodar's father, helped them move to a temporary home while he hired contractors to transform their home into a duplex. Because once the family splits, Eriko and her father will live in the main duplex because they're the owner, and then the other duplex tenants will be living there. That they'll providing rent to the father, to the homeowner. So that'll be like a second source of income because he already has a regular job, but living with a split family, he's not going to be able to afford to continue paying for a single family home. So the tentative move back in date is December 1998, January 1999. On the weekends, they went to the old home to work on the family garden together because their family garden has cherry trees, Japanese plum, Japanese maple. They have a garden, so you need to maintain the garden while they're working on tearing down the single family home and splitting it to a duplex. On the weekdays, the parents taught their children how to cook, clean, and do house maintenance, house repairs. They did this to prepare the family to split into two separate households and two separate countries. In July, they went to San Francisco to go to the Consulate General of Japan's office to get their paperwork started and the passports renewed. After eating lunch at the sushi restaurant, they stopped by the clinic. Eriko noticed a sign in the front lobby area, Judgment-Free Zone. While the parents talked with the office manager, Eriko got a tour of the clinic. Peodar asked her what's on her mind. With every single bit, she mentioned the sign and asked who owns the clinic. Peodar explained that his father and business partner are angel investors. This clinic is co-owned by the senior staff. She noticed that most of the staff had the same last name, Murphy. He explained that they're members of the Murphy family of San Francisco. The matriarch and her parents survived the earthquake. The Bank of Italy was the only bank that wasn't burnt down. A family owes that bank for helping them rebuild. So Eriko carefully said that the family is traditional. Everyone knows that they are liberal, but they don't accept certain people to join their family. Pedar gasped. Almost immediately, he regained his composure. He carefully told her that this is a family matter. However, he will carefully bring this to their attention. Pedro also added that his mother is also part of this family. However, her side of the family is more progressive. Eriko silently nodded. Eriko told him that she would send him a copy of Molly Fumia's book titled Honor Thy Children. She explained that the parents mentioned that book did visit her high school earlier that year. He said that his father would visit them later that year. She nodded and said that she'll hand over the book to his father. He silently nodded. Okay. So that fall, Heniko and Kaoru put their full focus on school while their parents focused on the next chapter of their life as a separated family. For Thanksgiving, the Murphy family invited the Sasaki family to join them at the Murphy Hotel in celebrating the start of the holiday season. Peodar discreetly notified Eriko that they did change the sign to reflect the fact that they are working on creating a judgment-free clinic and to please be patient while they're making the necessary adjustments. He also added that the family did have a family meeting to address the situation, and she silently nodded. Yeah. With a new family joining the holiday gathering, one by one, the Murphy family. This is why I gotta edit while I'm talking. The Murphy family welcomed the Sasaki family. Aiden explained that he owns a moving company and will help them move back into the duplex. Brianna is a seamstress. She offered her services to help Eriko create a wardrobe that matches her complexion and budget. Caitlin said that she's the owner of the Murphy hotel chain. The hotel chain. She designated part of one hotel to student housing in exchange for part-time housekeeping services. She charges reduced rent for local college students. Hint, hint. If you're gonna go to college in San Francisco, she'll help him out. She'll help Eiko out. Collins said that he is chief operations officer of said hotel. He is in charge of running the shuttle bus system that transports students from the hotel to their respective campus. They also have a dedicated number for students who have evening classes and need a late night ride back to the hotel. No questions asked. After Connor gave them his business card, he introduced himself as owning a local automobile dealership. He said that he knows Mr. Sasaki's car and offered him a really good deal on the new car. However, he did admit that some of the 1990s models were recalled. However, he reassured them he would make certain that he would only sell a car that he would sell to his own family. So, um, Finn introduced himself as a property manager. With the lumber period of the earthquake, a lot of the homes were badly damaged and not safe to live in. As a result, he has been buying land, building condos. He designated one for people who just graduated from college. Currently, he's making studio apartments. However, he is planning on building 1 and 2 bedroom units. He offered Eriko one of them when she graduates from university. This went on until a woman. So this, one by one, the family coming over, kept going until a woman in her 90s approached them. It was immediately obvious that she was the matriarch of the family. She introduced herself as Nora. She told them that she heard that their family's going through their transition. She offered to help them in any way she can. Mr. Sasaki thanked her for her generosity, allowing his family to join her family in celebrating the holidays. He accepted her offer of assistance. At this point, Nora offered Eriko a full scholarship to any university of her choosing. Eriko thanked her and accepted the offer, stating that she's torn between 2 universities, one in San Francisco, one in San Jose. At this time, both families started lining up to the buffet table. After they picked up a set of silverware and a plate, each person chose what they wanted to eat. Both families spent the rest of the meal getting to know each other and addressing what the Sasaki family needs to make the transition as smooth as possible. That December 1998, January 99, Mr. Alloway's father and the Murphy family helped the Sasaki family move into the duplex. Eiko and her father moved to the main house, while Kaoru and their mother moved into the rent house. They did this so they could prepare for the time when they would move to Japan in March, April of that year. Mr. Alloway's father apologized for the delay, explained that his contractors didn't know their house had asbestos and lead paint. As a result, he had to hire a hazardous waste removal company first before they started the renovations. Mr. Sasaki also apologized for the inconvenience, adding that he wasn't aware of the building materials used when the realtor sold him this house. Mr. Alloway waved away Mr. Sasaki's apology, saying, no, a lot of homes were built without anyone realizing these are toxic materials, so. Additionally, Mr. Alloway then changed the subject, asked Mr. Sasaki to let him know whenever a neighbor has a for sale sign on the front yard, to let him know. With the knowledge he has gained from remodeling their home, he would do the same with the neighbors' homes. So he also added that the next home will be owned by one of his in-laws. Together, they will make certain that all their new neighbors are on the same page regarding what is and is not acceptable behavior in their neighborhood. Mr. Sasaki again thanked Mr. Alloway for his assistance, and Mr. Alloway nodded. At this time, Eriko discreetly gave Mr. Alloway Molly Fumiya's book to give to his son, and Mr. Alloway gave Eriko a biography of the Murphy family in San Francisco. Although this book was a few hundred pages long, Eriko read all of it in one night. Their family started in Ireland. During the Great Potato Famine of the 19th century, the Murphy family left Ireland, made a permanent home in New York City. Sometime later, some of them moved out west to San Francisco. Details of why the family split remain unknown. In 1906, there was the Great Depression. 1906, there was the Great Quake, followed by the second wave of the bubonic plague. Her siblings all perished. Only she and her parents survived. Without any outside help, they support each other, moved forward. By 1929, they were ready to go to New York City to reconnect with their estranged family. However, the Great Depression happened. As a result, they had to wait until things got better. In 1988, one of their grandchildren married a person from New York City. The wedding took place in New York City. At the time, they went to Ellis Island, and the two parts of the family finally reconnected. And after Eriko wiped the tears from her face, she finally slept with a renewed respect and appreciation for what the Murphy family went through. She also understood why they were traditional and expected their own family members to get married and have children of their own. So, with that, let me know what you think in the comments below. Constructive criticisms, questions, and asking for clarification. And once I have chapter 2 ready, I will see you next time. Take care.